Now I'm going to show you an example of these bond line structures here. You can see that our tools are pretty similar to what we had before. The difference is going to be how it's displayed when we start laying stuff down. And I will point out down at the bottom here we have some shortcuts. So if we wanted to draw, for example, a cyclic molecule, it gives us this hexagon template here that we can work off of. In this case, we're being asked to draw this molecule, what's called butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So 4 carbons, right? And remember, with our bond line structures, our hydrogens are going to be implied. The first bond you lay down, just make note, is 2 carbons, right? When I lay down that one line segment, I have two out of my 4 carbons drawn. And now this is the weirdest part of this bond line drawing sort of structure here. If you try to draw your molecule like how we naturally read from left to right, it does it in this really weird sort of pattern. And this is actually, I got too many carbons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. Let me back up. It will accept this. This is perfectly fine, right? It gives me my check mark. I did it correctly, but this looks all sorts of weird, right? That's not how we're used to looking at our bond line structures. So let me just, how do I reset this? I don't remember. Okay, so the way to sort of get around that and to make it look like we're used to seeing is to actually draw it the opposite direction, from right to left. So if I do my first click and then I start building in the other direction, now we get our normal zigzaggy structure that we would expect. I got way too many carbons here. I went too far. But this would be, one more. This would be our 4 carbon molecule that we would expect here. And again, those hydrogens are implied, right? So here is our normal bond line structure. What I will say is, let's say that you realize, uh-oh, I need to build this way, and you hate it because it's looking all weird. You can always kind of like continue to build and then just go back and delete stuff. It's not the most convenient thing in the world. But nonetheless, again, my recommendation is to go from right to left when you're drawing these structures, and that will help it make look more natural. Okay, so just to be clear, my correct answer here, if I'm going to get rid of it, this is my 4 carbons. That's my normal looking structure there. Let me just show you. Let's say that we had to draw an OH group or something like that. Now we have to explicitly represent those molecules, right? So this is the oxygen. And we also have to explicitly represent the hydrogens coming off of there, right? So if I wanted to draw an OH group, I would also have to explicitly include my hydrogen. And the other thing I'm going to be really picky about at the start here are lone pairs on these atoms here, these heteroatoms that have lone pairs. So my oxygen, I would also need to add 2 lone pairs too. So this would be, it's not this molecule here, I'm doing another example, but with an OH group on that 2nd carbon, I have my hydrogen bond explicitly drawn. At some point in the course, I'm going to turn on this feature where it will automatically put hydrogens, but when we're starting out, I really want to drill it home where these things belong when we're talking about our heteroatoms like oxygen and nitrogen and stuff like that, sulfur, phosphorus. These hydrogens that are attached to those atoms have to be explicitly drawn. The ones on the carbons over here, right, these are implicit. There are 3 hydrogens here. There's 2 over here. There's 3 here. All that's implicit in our bond line structure. Okay, but that's how we go about using this drawing tool for bond line structures. This thing, I don't even really know what it is, but I'm pretty sure I know, is, yeah, where you can just kind of draw a whole bunch of carbons. So if you click this thing and drag, it tells you now you've laid down a shape with 6 carbons. I honestly do not use this at all, but go for it. Whatever works for you, right? So for this one, I guess I could have very efficiently answered this question by just saying boom and dragged it to 4 carbons, done. All right, but that's what that little zigzaggy tool is doing for you.